Pastor Henry Green, and thank you for joining me for Faith in Focus. Now, this is going to be a special one, and I hope you opened it right away. In fact, we talked about that in service this morning, that sometimes you get messages and you don't listen to them, but this is a season where it's very important to listen to them. Well, we are on the move. God has blessed us with an exciting new opportunity. We will be moving across the street. That's right. Now, God said to me unequivocally that we had not finished our assignment in this area. And one of my greatest heart's desire when God called me to start Emmaus was that as a church, we would be a church that God could count on. A lot of times, sadly to say, God will give a church an assignment, and they often will not finish the assignment. But I wanted us to be the kind of church that if God needs somebody, when he's looking around and say, who can I send, that Emmaus would pop into God's mind and said, I know who can get this done for me. It's Emmaus. So Emmaus, we've been assigned to make a difference, to break up some spiritual ground in this neighborhood. And so even though we're headed to our Kadesh, and those of you that have been around, Kadesh is a place outside of the promised land where the people were encouraged to connect, to consecrate, and get ready to cross into their promised land. So we are headed into a Kadesh because God has made it clear to us that it's time for us to be owners. God has been telling us for a while now, gather the people and possess the land. Now, to be real transparent with you, we have been slow about gathering the people. I believe God has the land waiting for us, but we must complete our assignment in this area, and we have to complete the assignment God has given us to gather the people. Now, we have set a numeric value of 300 people that God is calling us to gather. That's 300 people in worship, not 300 people saying they're members. And so we're going to need your help. And I believe the quicker that we can assemble the people God has told us, the quicker we can move into the fullness of our promise. In fact, we could gather the people next week, and I believe God would very shortly thereafter release our promised land to us. So I need all hands on deck. Now, God has been talking to me about faith, and we're going to have some faith discussions coming up here. But one of the things God showed me unequivocally was the first time when God led the children of Israel into a trap by the Red Sea, God did that because they didn't have enough faith. There was another way that they could have gone, but if they had gone that way, they would have to have fought. And God knew they were not ready to fight. And so God had to take them the way he took them because they didn't have enough faith. And then even in the crossing of the Red Sea, God parted the waters. He had the wind to blow in on the floor of the sea to dry it out because God knew they did not have enough faith to even cross in mud. He knew they didn't have enough faith to fight. Well, my prayer is that is not the testimony of Emmaus, that we're ready to fight if God calls us to fight. We are ready to trust when God calls us to trust, and even if it gets a little messy walking across, we've got enough faith to put our feet in the water and get wet, and if there's a little mud, so be it, because our faith can handle it. So I don't ever want you to get comfortable. We are moving across the street, 4602. We're going back to our regular worship time at 10 a.m. And we'll be this next week, 10 a.m. across the street from where we are, 4602C, I believe it is. There's two buildings there. You'll see the smaller church building and the larger community kind of center building. We are going to be in that center, and our worship will be, or our setup will be kind of similar to what we did at the Y with some variations. But we need all hands on deck. So look, here's what I need you to hear. Have enough faith to stay faithful during this season. Don't back off of your giving. Don't back off on your attendance. Do whatever you've got to do. So next week, everybody say with me, next week, say it again, next week, we will be at 10 a.m. 4602, which is directly across the street from St. Albans. Now, those that have been with us know we did make an attempt to purchase St. Albans, but they've decided they want to put another Episcopal church here. And so that's the decision, but God said our assignment is not up. So our presence in neighborhoods make a difference. So I want to make sure that you're being steady. Now let's blow the place up next week. We're going to have parking lot church next week. We will not be in the gym or the community center. We will be on the parking lot. We're going to do parking lot church. God has always done amazing things when we're on the parking lot. And it will be 10 a.m. Now, Monday, somebody say Monday, we are having our planning meeting and packing meeting. Planning and packing. So make sure you're here. I mean, all members. I need all members. It should look like a Sunday morning. All members in the church, 7 p.m. Monday, so we can have explain our schedule for our packing and actually get some packing done, because we are not going to wait till the last minute. We need all hands on deck. We always say, if everybody does something, nobody will have to do anything. Well, I hope you can hear the heart. Those of you that are spiritual, I hope you can feel the excitement in God, that God is opening up new opportunities for us. And I know when we do what God has directed us to do, it is absolutely going to blow our mind. So stay connected, stay consecrated, and let's see what God is about to do. Well, know that I love you. I absolutely love being your pastor. But this is your time to be strong in the Lord. Be strong and of good courage. Operate in faith. And let's see what God's going to do.